What does Unitas mean to me, and what training can we achieve? Two thoughts come together. Stronger, together and united in purpose. What is Unitas? What is Unitas? The current Brazilian government chose to sign a security agreement with Colombia, leaving aside joining the Shield of the Americas, which is an initiative that brings together the United States and 17 other countries in the region. This decision by Brazil was interpreted by Donald Trump's government as an indirect affront to the American effort to combat transnational criminal organizations, since Brazil and Colombia kept their distance from the continental strategy. The absence of both countries, both at the Americas Conference Against Cartels, held at the Southern Command headquarters in Doral, Florida, and at the meeting with Trump for the signing of the agreement, reinforces the perception that Brazil and Colombia, alongside Venezuela, are following a path contrary to regional alignment. This stance raises questions about the real intentions of the current governments of Colombia and Brazil in confronting organized crime, which has been terrorizing all of the Americas for decades. Welcome to Life in the Barracks. The Shield of the Americas continues to advance with intensity, demonstrating the strength of the international coalition against the cartels. American elite landed in Paraguay, and bombing operations have hit criminal and structures.
Let it be clear, the priority is the families and Ecuadorian territory. For the past 11 days, the Ecuadorian army has deployed Operation Podocarpus, which aims to regain full control of this national park, which for years was taken over by illegal mining mafias, attracted by its mineral wealth underground, and which ended up becoming a target for other criminal organizations. The interventions have made it possible to recover about 130 hectares that had been taken over by illegal mining inside the park. Life.
This coordinated offensive shows that the fight against drug trafficking is being treated as a continental priority, with simultaneous actions at different strategic points. Life in the barracks. However, during the sparsely attended summit of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States held in Colombia, the Brazilian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mauro Vieira, met with the Colombian Foreign Minister, Rosa Yolanda Villavicencio, to sign the action plan for the Brazil-Colombia Strategic Partnership, which includes more than 80 initiatives. The agreement covers areas such as infrastructure, productive integration, environment, and, more delicately, public security. This bilateral approach in the area of security reinforces the intention of both countries to expand their cooperation on internal and regional issues, even amid disagreements over broader strategic alignments. It is worth noting that the Brazilian armed forces have maintained continuous military cooperation with the United States for decades. This partnership involves not only the exchange of knowledge and weaponry, but also a relationship of trust and friendship built through joint exercises and regular training. Any change in doctrine or departure from this alignment could compromise an already established structure of defense and interoperability. The Brazilian Navy, for example, refused to limit its military relations with the Americans, and it continues to send military personnel for training in the United States, while also receiving American soldiers for knowledge exchange. This firm stance by a faction of the Brazilian military demonstrates an awareness of the strategic importance of this alignment for national defense. Reinforcing that, despite divergent diplomatic and political movements, the military bond with the United States remains solid. For the Brazilian Navy, the Southern Command maintains constant surveillance over the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific, conducting patrols with various assets and, most importantly, with the support of aircraft carriers. These vessels function as mobile platforms for military projection, capable of housing fighter jets, helicopters, and a large military force, allowing for a quick response to any threat. The presence of these assets in the region reinforces the deterrence capability and the readiness of the forces involved in the operation against the cartels. In this context, Brazil could play a relevant role by joining the movement against the cartels. Joining would bring logistical, military, and technological support, strengthening the work of state police forces who face highly armed criminals on a daily basis. With the support of the Shield of the Americas, the country would be able to expand its response capacity and reduce the vulnerability of local forces in the face of factions that operate with firepower comparable to that of armies. The limited alliance between Brazil and Colombia in the field of security raises doubts about its strategic effectiveness, especially when compared to the power and resources made available by the United States Department of War, which is the world's greatest military power. If both countries had joined the military coalition led by the Americans, factions like the Primero Comando de Capital, the Red Command, and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia could become direct targets of more robust and coordinated operations, as is already happening in Ecuador and Paraguay. This isolated stance could have significant political repercussions, since the agreement signed between Brazil and Colombia could be interpreted as a gesture of distancing from the continental strategy, serving as a trigger for new decisions by Donald Trump's government. The scenario opens space for debates about the future of regional security and about the possibility of specific actions by the Shield of the Americas on Brazilian soil, without Palácio do Planalto's approval. Leave here in the comments which city and state you're from and how public security is in your region. Here at Life in the Barracks, you stay up to date with everything happening in the military world. Leave your like, subscribe, and watch one of the videos appearing on your screen. Forward fighters. See you next time.